There it is.
What's happening, man?
All right, so this is the first time we've done this the right way, I think. So this is the last podcast filmed of the year, and it's going to be the first one released of next year.
Yep.
Typically, it's the first release of the new year, but we're going to go ahead and get a jump on it, I think.
Cool.
So what are we thinking? Haven't seen you in like 6 months.
Oh, there's been a lot. Man, every time I see you, it's like a whole different onion peel.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I figured to start off. Let me recant one of the things I've said before. So I used to really make fun of people with New Year, New Me. Like, I hate that phrase with a passion because they're like, you soft ass. Like, just do what you say. And then I got to thinking this morning because of the last podcast and the start of a year, and like some people really haven't had it really good. They have not. So maybe it's not a new year, new me. It's a new year, new mindset. Because right now, I can promise you 5 years ago, you ain't the same DJ.
Oh, no, absolutely not.
5 months ago, you ain't the same DJ. Like, you're learning something new. You're always trying to apply something new. So when people say that, I think that they're dead ass serious at the moment they say it. They just don't know how to like close the loop, and that they haven't really figured out, except for like the likes on Instagram and Facebook of, okay, I'm going to say and do this. So I would challenge anybody, and myself included, is whatever that you've been avoiding, confront that like today, whatever that is. And I got a bunch of them that I've been avoiding because it's just not convenient and I don't like it. And at the new year, new me truly should not be a fitness thing. That's the last frontier. That's like an afterthought. Brush your teeth. It's a nothing. The real thing is change the expectation of every time you wake up in the morning. So, and I don't know if it's just because I'm getting older or just because I realize like I'm not going to be here very long. Every day I go to sleep, I go, God, I hope I get up. Every day. And it's been for the last year. It's when I'm about to lay down, I keep thinking, I hope that I wake up. And then every day I wake up, I'm like, fuck yeah, I woke up. Because I'm not guaranteed that. And that every day that I wake up, I got a better chance to do it better.
Why do you think that, though? Because
I don't know,
you're
man.
in pinnacle health.
So here's what I've realized real quick. That it doesn't matter who you are. Doesn't matter what kind of fitness you got. Doesn't matter who you are. Like, we're all going. We're on the same conveyor. We're on the same conveyor belt. Everybody's going, and you're going to drop somewhere somehow. So for me, like every day, it's almost like an emergency. Like I almost have an emergency every day of there's so much that I don't know. There's so much that I'm not good at. There's so many people that I haven't touched. There's so many lessons that I've not been able to say or that I've not been able to receive. And I'm thinking, man, I hope that I get up because I get another chance to try it again.
Yeah.
Because I probably messed up something yesterday that I didn't know that I messed up. And then I'm going to find out in 2 weeks that I messed it up. And that had I not gotten up and tried over and over and over again, then we're not having this conversation. There's no value to it. So that new year, new me thing, I get it. But I think that they're missing the mark. Like they're waiting a whole year to make a change that you can make in one day.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think also, like, man, you just got to make a mindset, like you said, a mindset shift. It's not like the working out thing's the last thing. But I mean, I guess it is fun. I know people use the holidays as an excuse to gorge, and overconsume alcohol, overconsume food, overconsume socially.
Christmas cookies.
Yeah, just overconsume everything. Like, so everyone's splurging throughout the 2 months of the year, and then so yeah, it is like a hard reset, and it's fortunate, like it's unfortunate that that's like a thing that's never going to go away. But at the same time, like you're right, like I mean, you can just constantly be working on small steps,
Yeah. So like, I get smacked in my face every day, like hard smack in my face, like you're not that cool, like quick. Either it's by my kid or somebody at work, or I'll hear somebody like on TV, or somebody will say something like, I'm not doing it all the way right. And okay, well, what can I do for the rest of the day? And then I hope I wake up tomorrow to try it. And I'm thinking that we're looking at this in the wrong way. Like, remember I did that 30-day thing. Every 30 days, you don't have to wait 30 days. That's the stupid part. So every day I wake up and I'm thinking, hell yeah, I get to train. Now this morning, straight up, super, super irritated. I woke up in lots of pain. Left hip, I got up and I said, man, I don't know what is wrong. Now I'm mad. Now I'm hurt again. I'm getting myself in this bad headspace. And I had to stop myself. I'm brushing my teeth going, no, you still got one good leg. You still got two good arms. Get out of your head and go do something because you got to wake up today.
I just tweaked my chest a minute ago before I got here.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, are you kidding me? But I was like, okay, well, let me see what movements I can still do. I got to finish this Metcon after we get done with the strength.
Okay.
You know? But I immediately thought the same thing. I was like, shit, I just really took me 10 years to rehab the left side. I finally where I can do everything again. Now the right side's messing up, like, you know, and then I was immediately like, well, let's see where we can move. Okay, you can so you can't push a lot right now. Okay, we can still do wall balls. We can still do box jumps. We can still do a snatch. You just can't go too heavy.
Sure.
And I was like, okay, we're going to be okay. I had to talk myself through it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And so the New Year thing, if every day that you try to do the very best that you could, you're probably going to have a good year.
Yeah.
So if every day you treat it like, all right, the most important person that I could talk to is going to be in front of me every day, and that's going to help me if I show up in the right way. The most important is the one that you're looking in the mirror. Big dog in the mirror is the most important. So how are you not showing up for Big Dog every day? That to me, when I realized that, and I start thinking this morning, I'm thinking, if I let this negative take me, the whole day is going to take me. If I say, okay, what can I do? Even though like my physical gifts are starting to fade in some ways, in some like not small ways, it's opening the door for me to be able to do other stuff. So the new year, new me thing, and I got to give them some grace because they really are trying to make a change. They just haven't figured out how to make it stick.
Yeah.
Because they still go back to what is comfortable. So if somebody were to say, I'll take the shackles off of you, but you're going to have to go out into the cold and try to figure and do this hard thing every day. Some people would say, nah, put them shackles back on because it's warm in here and I know I'm a slave, but I'd rather put the shackles on and be comfortable than to take them off and now I got to do it myself.
Yeah.
So trying to remove the training wheels and fail. I mean, fail with some guardrails, but fail. So if you got up and you say, hey, I really would like to run. I want to run a 5K. Well, did you get up and walk today? Okay, you walked today. Great. Did you walk for 26 minutes and ran for 4 minutes by the end of the week? Then did you have 6 minutes, 8 minutes, 10 minutes, 12 minutes over the course of 6 months? And then maybe you actually ran that little turkey trot that you've been trying to do. So the shackles thing, like the comfortable slavery, it never fit with me. And I think that a lot of people and humans are freaking weird. I don't understand why we're geared this way, but we're really good liars. And that we are really good at keeping ourselves just above sick. And that we will lie to ourselves just enough to where we don't have to see the doctor. And then when it falls off, you're like, God, why did you give me this affliction? Nah, man. It's just, we just lied to ourselves and kept them chains on just long enough. So when the sickness actually did creep on us, we have no idea how it happened. But for years and years and years, we just had these nice comfortable handcuffs on us.
Well, yeah, it's funny because we've evolutionized being comfortable, and that's the reason why it's a gift and a curse, right? Because we live longer because we figured out ways to
that's fair
to be comfortable and live longer, right? We're not trying to fight things that are trying to kill us constantly, you know what I mean? And then we learn how to eat things, but then at the same time, we're killing ourselves on the back end, right? Mm-hmm. Then it's like we become too comfortable. Now our life expectancy it's funny because it's still longer, than it was 100 years ago, but it's not high. It's weird because like the last 30 years you're so sick and you're not like, what's the point?
Yep. You
should have just lived to 50, all out, balls out, and then drop dead versus live to 80, and then the last 30 years of your life you're on dialysis, you're taking blood thinners, you can't walk, you're in a recliner all day, like what the
Yep. So I 100% agree. I heard a lady this morning and it was weird, like she was one of them comedy ladies, but I heard a lady this morning and she was like a Mexican fisherman, got approached by a banker, and he's like, hey, how many fish do you catch in a day? He goes, oh, about 10, And then I just kind of go hang out with my kids or my wife, or I cook, or I just relax or whatever. She goes, shit. The banker said, well, if you hire some people to do it, you could build this scale and you can get it bigger and bigger and bigger and make more money and hire more people and create this thing. And eventually you could go ahead and sell the thing and then go back to hanging out with your family and doing this and this and this. And the person goes, well, why don't I just stay with what works?
Yeah.
Instead of building this giant thing to get right back to where we're supposed to. So as a kid, what you were doing, it worked. Why are we running around this big circle when we should be saying, all right, every day I'm excited to go do this thing. Every day I've never seen a kid wake up and go, ugh, the sun is out. This is the worst day. Never, ever, never. Look at a kid in summer vacation. They're freaking off the chain. I'm talking about, all right, where can we do? What kind of thing are we going? Can we go to the park? Can we play? What are we doing? So as an adult, like, we keep putting these things and these excuses and these lies into our life, so that way, when I retire, then no, but you can do it now.
You can do it now. Yeah, and you can. There's so many ways. Like, you can do it now. You can still work your ass off and still make time to do it. There's everyone has an excuse or an affliction, and it's interesting because man, it's a roller coaster, right? Because you have ups and you have downs, but at the same time, everyone has an idea of themselves, and this is just my opinion, right? They have an idea of themselves that's absolutely bullshit. Like, they think they might think they're the best looking person in the room, or they think they're stronger than they really are. It's kind of like the guy that still thinks he can whoop your ass that maybe could fight in high school. You know what I mean? Like,
Uncle Rico?
Yeah. It's like everyone lies to themselves, and they carry those lies their entire life.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they're self-conscious, and it's like they know they're lying to themselves, right? And these things eat at them, and they just like the lady who used to be a bombshell who's now not, and she's continue, like, just whatever either insert whatever. Like, there's so many different stereotypes,
Instead of celebrating, okay, what good can you do today, and how much better can you be today instead of what you were?
Well, accepting that you're not who you were. Like, so this sticks with me. And you and I talked about it, and this has always stuck with me since we talked about it.
Okay.
And it was when you were having that conversation with your sister, I believe, about someone she was dating.
Oh yeah.
And didn't she ask you, like, hey, or blah, 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 and you were like, well, I mean, yeah, that dude was this type of person back then.
Sure.
But
it's not him.
I don't expect him to be him now.
I don't know him.
Right.
I don't know him.
So I can't give you a judgment or anything based on something from 30 years ago.
Yeah, I don't know him.
Well, that stuck with me because it's true. Like, I know him because I see him every day.
Sure.
But if I don't see him in a year, he's not the same individual I saw last. And all I have to go off of is the last individual I hung out with. It was a year ago. Well, I guarantee you, just like you said, we're constantly changing. Over the course of a year, he's not the same individual.
No.
And so that's stuck with me. It's interesting that mindset, and it really has. And I just think that's something that people don't think about.
So I would say, if you get up every day and try to be the person that you would like to be, I think that the people, like, your core you is probably going to stay. So, like, you're probably going to have the weird, quirky sense of humor that you've had forever, but you may just, like, squish it down because it's not socially acceptable or what, but you, like, your core you is you. But if you're trying to become, you can hold on to, like, all the good things that were given to you and you kind of learned and you did, but then kind of slough off all the BS that you've kind of had to do. I think that that's the best way to live. And that sometimes it may be at the expense of what you're known for. So I've had to deal with that a lot, where it's like, hey, there's Big Nate. Hey, it's always attached to, like, either physicality or, like, me being able to do something like way out left field. And that lately, I'd say the last 5 years, 6 years, the big man has taken away everything, all of it. And that some of it I'm glad. And it took me a long time to say is glad, because you kind of grieve it like you died. Because that part of you and that one that they know is truly, he's gone. He ain't here no more. He can't come back. Like, my hair ain't coming back.
Yeah.
It's what it is. So if I get hair just because I went to Turkey or something and they put this stupid
right, but it still ain't yours.
Nah.
Yeah.
So that man is no longer. It's cool that you knew that version, but he ain't here anymore. And I'm hoping that I'm better. So with me, when I got the things taken away, the only way that you can look at it in a positive way is it was taken because I was not what I was supposed to be. So all of those things got me up the ladder rung, and I got to the top, and I can't get any further. So in order to get higher and the person you're supposed to be or the most impact that you're supposed to have, sometimes you have to get it taken from you because you will not develop anything if you don't have to.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't change if I could still do the Superman stuff that I used to, because why would you change?
Yeah.
And that I wouldn't develop other parts of the character. I wouldn't develop any kind of leadership qualities or like being more present or just being introspective, because you don't have to. Because you are still chasing the Uncle Rico thing of like, okay, yeah, I used to be able to do that, so now I have to maintain that. Sometimes it's not possible. And so whatever is taken from me, like right now, I have a partial quad tear in my right side, quad muscle tear and a partial tendon thickness tear. Plus I have both of my, and I just got this MRI, so I know, both of my hip labrums are torn. So there's no reason why. It's not a surprise to me that I am all messed up right now.
What are you doing for that?
So lots of long holds.
Are you doing like any IGF or are we talked about that? Like, cause we talked about, are you started any peptides yet or?
So I had to get a PRP shot.
Okay.
If you've not had one, I'm going to tell you, effective, but 8 out of 10 pain.
Yeah.
Like I've had some pain. 8 out of 10. It's like a bike inner tube inflator, the syringe. Mm-hmm. And so they take your blood out, and that's no big deal. Take your blood out and they spin it, and it comes like a big gold syringe. It's like all your plasma and all the good stuff's in there. And so they take that thing and put it straight down in your leg. And then you're thinking, okay, that's no big deal. And he takes it out about a quarter of the way and then shoves it all the way around. 7 different shoves. Bam, bam, bam. And I'm telling you, like, I had to get quiet. Like, because there's nothing else you can do. Like, I'm not going to squirm because you'll mess it up. But 8 out of 10 pain. Now, it's about 60% better, though. Okay. So we may have to talk about, like, the healing stuff of that. What we could do, because I know you do work with Core Medical and stuff. So maybe that could be a route. We may have to talk about that. But
not there yet.
No, not there yet. I want to see what happens, because you never know, like, if you do like 2, 3, 4 things, like what worked, because whatever works, do it. And that PRP, I'm hoping that it works. And if not, then we got to figure out the other ways, because stem cells is wildly expensive.
Yeah, that's one thing. It's like, we know they're effective and they work, but man, there's no insurance is not covering that. You know what I mean? And it's not cheap. You know, but if you have the means to do it, yes, it's effective, right?
Yes.
But you can't go there every time something's bothering you either.
No. And then so when I'm getting all these things taken away, it's forcing me to say, all right, I'm becoming what I'm supposed to be. So in order for me to be able to be like what you're supposed to be, I think those things got to get removed.
Yeah. No, I agree. Do you think that, like, I think about this sometimes, do you think that these people, you, me, whoever, if we're falsely holding on to something that used to because we're afraid to let it go because that's just part of our ego, do you think that that's taking away from someone else?
Yeah, dude.
That because someone else may need, like, you know, saying, like, this is an energy thing, right? This is the kind of woo woo, right?
No,
but like,
you're good.
I'm holding energy of something that's not. This is not mine anymore.
100%.
I've had my time. You had your world record pull, like, but at some point you have to let that energy transfer to someone else because it's their time, and you use that then space that's left over from that moving to fill up with something new.
100%.
So that's kind of how I look at it now, and that's kind of, like I said, it's kind of woo woo, but it is, to me, it makes some sense, you know.
I would say it's more true than what you'd leave and let on, because when you harbor that, you don't have the space to give anybody anything else.
Yeah,
you can't, because it consumes you. So like, you are this, you have to be this, and if you're not, it freaks you out, and you know you're in a weird mental space. So how can you give it to somebody else? So a lot of when bad stuff happens, at least I do, I have to acknowledge it. Like, you can be mad for a second and then you go, okay, what are we going to do with this? What are you going to do about it? So that's my notorious statement to my kids and everybody else. You can be as pissed as you want. Okay, what are you gonna do about it?
Yeah.
And that, are you gonna sit here and let it ruin your whole outlook on stuff? Or you broke your ankle. Okay, so what are we gonna learn to better your technique in whatever? Are you able to, if it's jiu-jitsu, can you work on your guard and like whatever else you do? If you're a runner, okay, have you worked on your pull-up ability or whatever that is? So you can say, all right, I cannot do this aspect. That's fine. But now I have to get better at another aspect. Same thing with that stupid furlough. Like when the furlough happened, you take away my ability to make change and like to help people. Okay, well, I turned it inward. So I realized, okay, I'm going to help myself. So get into project management. I'm in Syracuse University for their project management thing. So like you have to take it and say, all right, cool story, but what are you going to do about it? Mm-hmm. So try to do something else. And I think this is the meaning of life, is when some part of the branch dies, let it fall off, because another fruit can go on another.
But if you harbor that, you're fighting with forces that are way larger than you, and you're hurting, keeping yourself from growing.
Sure.
And keeping someone else from growing.
So a lot of times, especially in recent times, whenever I feel like I'm in control, I get shown real quick that I'm not. Real quick.
Yeah.
And every time I think that I'm in control and I got the answer and I'm going to do this is mine. No, it's not. Knock you down 3 pegs, and you're going to learn again just in the way you were supposed to if you had just listened, and stop trying to think that you got it all figured out, because I don't. Now, what I do have it figured out is show up and work like your mother was standing next to you and you were trying to make sure like you weren't letting her down.
Yeah.
Or show up like my son still thinks I walk on water. And that if he was standing next to me, would I still do the same thing? Or would I have my daughters like be ashamed of me? No. So I think that's the answer, is if you can conduct yourself like your parents or somebody you really respect, like their approval hinges on it, I think you'd be okay. And that if you can honestly, if you go, maybe, you probably got your answer. If you can't resoundingly say, yes, this is the way to go, you probably are messing up. Yeah. And then, okay, if you messed up today, fine. I hope you wake up tomorrow so you can do it again. So it's a rinse and repeat. I think that's what we're supposed to chase. You're supposed to chase, like, how do you become the greatest addition to earth? I don't think you're supposed to be the greatest DJ. I don't think you're supposed to be like the greatest CrossFitter, and you're not supposed to be the greatest business person. You're supposed to be the greatest addition to earth. Yeah. In all aspects. And that if you do it right, I think the people around you is how you should gauge that person. So whoever is around that person and connected to that person, if they're thriving and they're doing the best, then you go, that's a damn good one.
For sure. Yeah. You can look at a core community of people, and if you can see that they're all doing well, it's because they all are like hinging on each other. Yeah. And that means everyone's doing their part. Now,
and don't get it inflated and think, okay, he just says like when something goes wrong, like quit on your gift and then don't pursue all that. So when I say something is taken, if it's like a muscle tear, like it's gone, I cannot sprint the way that I did, that's taken. But it's different when somebody puts a roadblock. I don't care about a roadblock. You can't tell me no. Yeah. It's okay. You can say the word no to me, but now we're just going to figure out how we get to yes. If it's not in the front door, okay, noted. I'm going to the side window. Okay, you shut the side window, cool, because I'm going to the back door. Are you doing that? No, I'm climbing the tree and going through the roof. It doesn't matter. Like, we're going to get there. But if all the things that you've tried still didn't work, you probably got your answer, and then go do something else with the lessons you just learned from going to the window, the side door, the back door.
Yeah, it's back to that lying to yourself thing. Like, well, okay, look, if you already know the answer, you're just prolonging this, right? And you're hurting yourself and whoever else you could pass that to.
And with a new year, new me, I appreciate social media, truly. Like, I think it's a great escape. I think it's hilarious. Like the
there's
stuff,
so much funny stuff on there.
The stuff that's on there. But here's where the lying to you part, like truly. So don't get on there and make promises, and don't get on there and project things for other people's approval. It's not for them, it's for you. So I applaud you for going to the gym, but I don't have to know the distance. Like, you don't have to tell me, like, I didn't put my training online, like,
Yeah.
hey, you know what I mean? Like, if you're promoting a fitness product, or like if you're an online coach or something, that makes a lot of sense to me, because that's intentional and you're trying to marketing
It's your
stuff.
business, yeah.
But personally, I miss the days when you'd see somebody 6 months and you go, damn, man, you look awesome. What are you doing? And then they say, oh, you know, I went and did this, this, and this. Right now, I guarantee you, if you scroll for half a second, you'll see 5 or 6 people that are detailing every aspect of their training, and it's more for the likes and validation than it is for their actual improvement.
Yeah, also, are they even being honest? Because most of the time they're not.
They're
Like, are they being
not.
honest with what they're taking? Are they being honest with their actual regimen?
I know people that just load the bar and they never lifted it.
Yeah.
It's like 500 pounds in the bar. They loaded it and took a picture, but it never left the ground.
Yeah.
I've seen that in the gym. There's a tripod in the gym, which, don't get me started on tripod in the gym. I'll kick the tripod in the gym.
Okay, so first off, I haven't experienced this because I haven't bro gymmed. You know what I mean when
bodybuilding type gym.
Yeah. I haven't done that since 2021.
Okay.
So a lot has changed since then.
Sure.
And so I see this stuff and I'm like, these people are like, there's absolutely no fucking way that you're gonna set that shit up in my damn way. Like,
No.
I don't care. Like, I'm not paying a gym membership for you to put your shit here. Like, and that's fine, Dan, if y'all want to do that kind of stuff. But like, I'm glad I've never had to experience that. Like, we don't have that shit in the CrossFit space. Somebody may lean their phone up over there or something. But like, I'll see these things scrolling. I'll look and I'll see like these people, all these gyms, all these Anytimes or Planet Fit or whatever, and they have these. I'm like, no, dude, there's no fucking way.
So that's where I think that should stop.
Yeah.
So everybody is their own like mini celebrity right now. Some of that should stop.
Yeah.
And I'm all about people like getting the attaboys, and that's cool. But every once in a while, like if you're trying for a PR or something, you had somebody record it, like that's great.
But if you're sitting here talking this fucking thing and taking 5 minutes in between sets and you're in my damn way, I'm gonna say, hey, I pay for this motherfucker too. Get the fuck out of my way. Come do that shit at 1 a.m. when nobody's here. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's how I was in the gym. You know, like I'm here to get work done and leave. You
Correct.
know? So, and I'm not that way anymore because I'm not at those type of gyms. But I can only imagine if I was there. Like, oh man.
So that part I think should leave, and that they're not the ones that are doing New Year, New Me, and I understand that, and that the people that are don't look to them as the savior to what you're trying to do, because like you're saying, you don't know what they're taking. They could have been training for 20 years. Yeah. And that the things that they're telling you, if it's not a few things, and I'll detail those few things, that way people can just make a good decision. If it's not a couple of things and it's extra and it's a bunch of vitamins or whatever, then it's probably not true. So for the New Year, New Me, if anybody is doing any kind of like radical change, this is what I would highly recommend them to do, bar none. And I hope that people are paying attention, pause it, rewind it, do what you do. So number 1, get your blood drawn. First and foremost, get your blood drawn to figure out what is your baseline. Number 2, drink water. So half your body weight in ounces of water every day, non-negotiable. Number 3, 7 to 9 hours of sleep. I don't care who you are. So you have a baseline blood draw, you have hydration, and you have recovery. If those 3 are not done, I don't care what food we're talking about, I don't care what rep set, nothing, you're going to have a hard time.
You're not optimized. That's your baseline. Yeah, and I agree. And that's something I've just come around to doing the past couple of years.
Water?
No, water's been something I've been doing since I had like acute kidney failure 10 years ago. But like, no, the blood work stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. There's no telling how wonky that was for years.
And so if we're paying for all these different supplements and all these different things for $100, it's roughly about $100 if you get it done. Just a general panel, just to say, okay, where am I at? And then just have somebody read it for you. Or if you're not comfortable, use ChatGPT to say, hey, can analyze this for overall health for male from 36 to 45. And that there's your technology that can give you just the rundown if you took a picture of it. And that, I don't blur out your social security number or whatever you want to do, but use your technology to help you. And then after that, go get some kind of body fat testing. whether it's an in-body, a DEXA, a hydrostatic.
Hydrostatic's the best, probably,
it's
right?
Awesome.
Yeah.
You guys schedule it, LSUS, I believe. But any kind of testing that you can do that you're going to recreate, once every 6 weeks, that probably would be best for them. And that way you can say, okay, I need this amount of baseline calories for a day. And then you say, all right, I'm going to eat something that has protein in every meal. So the two things I tell people to think about is eat something that had muscles to get muscles. So if it has muscles, eat it.
Yeah.
If it walked, swam, or flew and had a mom, eat it. And it's real simple. And then if it grew out of the ground and had dirt on it, pair it together. So if you had muscles and fruit and or vegetables, eat it. You're not going to, okay, so you love grapes, whatever. It's better than you going to the gas station and get what you're going to get.
Yeah.
So it's not trying to be perfect. So you get your protein and your vegetables or a little bit of fruit if that's what you like. And then 25% of your calories should come from fat. And that way you got enough for like your brain metabolism, your hormones to kind of get right. And then other than that, you can either have more fat or you can have the remainder in carbohydrates. Depends on how you tolerate it.
Yeah, everyone's different. It depends on also your goals. Like if you're a runner, you're always going to go with more carbohydrates. You just can't be that. You can't be that. It's very. I've never seen like super long distance runners that are carnivore. It just don't line up.
They don't have enough reserve.
Yeah.
But for the average person, they're usually grossly under eating protein. Like grossly under eating. Not even a half.
Everyone's eating too much fat and carbs, man.
Yes. So if they took the palm of their hand for every meal and had a piece of meat that was this big for every meal, they'd make awesome changes. So you got your blood work, you got your sleep, you get your water, you have some kind of baseline body fat test, and then focus on your protein first because you're not going to eat all the other crap because you're too full. You can't eat it. It's not possible. So for me, I have a minimum of 200 every day.
That's where I'm at.
It's a minimum every day. And that it's hard for me to eat that. On the way here, I was eating chicken legs and broccoli and pasta salad. And that's why I asked for the water because I didn't want none of my teeth. But you're thinking when I was driving here, it was 9:30 in the morning. Just because it's breakfast doesn't mean that you need breakfast food.
Doesn't mean you have to have eggs, whatever
you like. But for the average person, if you can just do that, so you got the blood never lies, never. You got sleep, which is always important. You get your water, which will die without it. And you got protein and you have vegetables. And if you want to sneak in something once a week that you want to have that is truly enjoyable, do it. Just have it, press on and go. And then move every day. And I said, if it ends in Y, you're moving. And it should be to where you can talk to me, but it's not comfortable.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter if it's strength training. It doesn't matter if it's conditioning. It doesn't matter if you're carrying a baby. I don't care. Just move. If it's adult softball, do it. But if it's Monday through Sunday, movement every day, and you just repeat what I said, there's never a person that I've met that met those goals that did not succeed.
Yeah.
Now, to what level are you going to look like you're going to some kind of vacation? Maybe not. But your health is going to be so much better. Your mood is going to be better. You're going to be in less pain, less inflammation, less everything. And that is the only answer. That's the only answer. If somebody finds a better answer, it's usually pharmaceuticals that they're having to put in their body to accelerate that process. So if it's Ozempic and Wegovy or whatever you call that, there's different ones now that they have it. No shade on you at all. And so I have to walk that back too. Because I originally was like, no, that sucks. Body positivity is not a thing because if it was, then that drug would not even exist. Because if they were comfortable in their own skin being bigger, they would not have taken said shot.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so no shade whatsoever. But I do have to really, really caution every person using that. Muscle wasting is a problem. So
yeah, and bone density too.
Sarcopenia, and then especially for ladies, if you already didn't start off with a ton of muscle, and then you go ahead and drastically reduce the amount of calories coming in, and you're not doing strength training and heavy protein intake, that you're gonna lose almost all muscle tissue and not a whole lot of fat, because like even on base, like I can tell who's on the shot when I'm doing their metrics. So 42 pounds lost, but 38 pounds were muscle tissue.
That's horrible. That's not great.
4 pounds was body fat.
Yeah.
So we don't want that. So any human being should preserve as much muscle as they can.
That's why the scale is the devil, man. The scale is not
trust it.
And it's like it used to be a great metric because that's all you had. But there's so much other, like, you can literally get a scale that's more accurate that'll read your body fat percentage at this point in where our technology is, where you could follow that more than you follow the weight, the number on there, you know.
And I'm glad that more ladies are looking at like being strong versus being skinny, which that's great. Because there's different size people for different reasons. This is great. I mean, nobody needs to be like super overly fat, but a normal range for a man is 10 to 20%. Normal range. Most, and even in the studies, the most attractive mates are usually about 14%.
So I got up to 18% this last High Rocks camp because I was lifting less and running more. Yeah. And I felt horrible. I was inflamed. My joints were bothering me. I would say, I venture to guess I'm 3 weeks out from that. Mm-hmm. And I'm probably I can just feel I'm probably back down to like 15 already. Yeah. Just because the regimen swapped back to, diet didn't change that much. No. But I was running, cortisol was high, inflammation was high, water retention was up, had to eat a little more carbs than my body likes, wasn't moving any heavy weights, wasn't burning. I was burning calories, but I wasn't burning them the same way. Nope. The fuel intake was different. The energy output was different. And it's very interesting now that I can already tell, like, stuff's tightening back up. And I'm just like, this is crazy, man. It's so weird.
So the body likes doing stuff that it's meant to do. Mm-hmm. So there's nothing wrong with the endurance stuff. Like, there's nothing wrong with it.
Right, if that's your game. For me, it's not. Sure. You know? And I feel best around 13 to 15% body fat and strong.
So, and there's studies that came out, even like visibly, like when ladies would judge men, the most attractive group was 14%. And that they do not like the super lean ones. All the guys like the super lean ones because we understand, all right, it takes a lot to get to there and it looks like G.I. Joe. But from 12 to 15 is optimal health for a man. Below 12%, not optimal health because you're running too close to the margins. And now, granted, some people are just naturally very, very thin, and they've always been that way, and so then maybe their body fat's low. We're not talking about those guys. We're talking about the regular guys that maybe they said like 25%, and if they got, they had a bad breakup and then they hit the gym real crazy, and they're down at like 9-10%, that's not good for them long term. Like hormones, bad. Joints, bad. Tendons, bad. Like it's not going to be awesome. So same thing for ladies. So ladies, 20 to 40% is the range. So the most optimal for a lady that I've seen is about 25 because she can still be normal, but is really close to like bikini ready and that she's not veined out. Like she just looks like she's in shape. Yeah. And that she doesn't have to stress herself out by being like 15% because that's not good for a lady either. So the bikini competitors and the bodybuilders types, that's why they can't maintain that year round. That's not good for their hormones.
No, yeah. It's I mean, we're genetically designed differently. Yeah. And it just is what it is.
And it makes to me, it makes life worse. So like when I was talking to little wrestlers, so I'm constantly involved, and we're going to get on that in just a minute. I'm constantly involved in youth sports because I think that it is the most important thing we can do for a deconditioned society is to keep kids in sports because it mandates them not being turds. So number one, it has wild ones like me to be able to tell you how far you can actually go, but keep you just shy of that so you don't break. So I want you to get in somewhere where you feel horrendous, but you're going to get through it and you're going to learn how to get through life suck in an organized way where not going to get you hurt, but it's an organized way. So when I'm talking to little wrestlers, and I even tell them, you are not allowed to cut weight. You're not in my presence, not allowed. Because there is no point in you fixating on the scale because I think truly what that's doing is long term, you start associating, I have to be this weight to beat this guy, and it's making you a mental midget.
That's what happened to me at fighting. It happened to me all the time. Yeah, I was like, I would say if I'm not here, I need to cut to, it happened the last fight because I lost too much weight. I need to cut to 185 because I'm stronger at 185. I'm not 185 or no more.
Nope.
You know?
So in a street fight, you're not going to say, hold on, are you 162 or are you 175?
Yeah, no.
You're going to throw hands, you're not.
Yeah.
So for ladies, for men, for anybody, like fixating on the scale is always going to be a bad deal for you. So if you fixate on abilities, that's always a positive deal. So for your New Year's new me, to hell with how you look in your dress. To hell with how you look in your shirt. Can you do a pull-up? I've never known people that can do multiple pull-ups that are not awesome at life. Never. Never. Because to attain that ability, you're going to look a certain way because you're going to grow certain things to do it. Can you sprint really fast? I've not known a whole lot of people that can sprint really fast that are also not aesthetically pleasing. They're not looking at a scale. They're looking at did I achieve this ability? And then magically the aesthetics come with the ability. So instead of focusing on, well, I'm going to remove this, I'm going to remove that, and I got to be strict with this, and I got to do that. Screw that. Okay, what can we do? So what things are you bad at? Okay, if you're bad at endurance, okay, well, how do you change that? Can you hang from a bar and pull your chest all the way up to it 5 times? If you can't, okay, let's do that and fixate and focus on that. And then when you do it, it's positive all the way around, because if you defied gravity 5 times and you pulled yourself up, I promise you carry less body weight than you did before. I promise you that you carry way more muscle than you did before, and mentally you'll be better because you achieve something that is long lasting and you can keep doing it. Whereas the mirror and the scale will change on the day. So like you said, you ate more carbs than you thought, look a little watery and like not feeling awesome, right? Water, yeah. But if you were able to squat 400 pounds for 10 reps, you're going to look a certain way.
Yeah.
It's just what it is.
Yeah, that's exactly right. To do that sport, I look less appealing for myself and also feel different than doing this other sport. Yeah. And it's attached to it.
So for your average person, I always want athlete, person, business owner, I always want them to think of your favorite athlete is aesthetically pleasing, right? Usually most of them, unless you like sumo wrestling, that's such a niche. Like nobody thinks like my favorite.
You're like Derek Lewis.
Yeah, hey, that's
or Daniel Cormier.
That's the guy. But if you look at majority of people, they'll say, "Well, I like the way that this soccer player looks, or I like the way that this boxer looks, or whatever." So, however that person looks, are you doing any of those things that person does?
Yeah, and I also think that like if you're going to chase these resolutions or whatever, don't look at. When you start doing the things, you start feeling better and you start caring less about what you're going to look like.
Yeah.
Like you're saying, oh, I want to look like that person. Well, why don't you look like you, but a better version of you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that comes with just putting the work in and making those small changes, especially in what you put in your body.
And the biggest thing is like the New Year, New Me, it's a mental health exercise. It's not a physical exercise. The mental health exercise is, are you going to get up and do the hard thing? And then mental health exercise is, how do I feel about myself because now I can do these certain things? I feel so much better about myself. The opposite can also be true. If you fail on said resolution, guess who's in a downward spiral and is going to eat their feelings, is going to go in retail therapy, and that swipes a credit card because a quick hit, and now you're in financial trouble. So it's just a giant spiral that it's so common. But if you just said, okay, I'm going to chase the ability to do life so much better, and that it follows all the other things. So how you do anything is how you do everything. So if you take the opportunity to do the best today, then you're going to say, okay, well, how did I treat my team at work? Or how did you treat the homeless man that just asked you for $1 for something to eat? It's all the same. It is all the same. And when people stop removing it from like the whole part of it, they'll be fine. So it's not a new anything. It's, okay, Tuesday, I'm going to treat the homeless man when I see him. I don't have any money for him, but I got the Little Debbie Hostess cake that I just bought from the gas station because I thought it was cool and I gave it to him. Or my nephew, usually, I'm kind of hands off or whatever. And this is not personal, but like, let's say it's your nephew and that you're going to check up on him. Hey, what game do you like? What kind of, like, instead of looking down on him that he's a gamer, hey, what kind of game do you like? All right, before we do, can I play it with you? But before we do this, let's go outside and do this, I don't know, this certain activity. So you just snuck in some physical activity for a sedentary nephew. And that way you're not saying, well, screw that kid because he likes Fortnite. Now you guys get to bond in both ways. Mm-hmm. So I think you can change all the way around if you just go, all right, well, how can I do today fucking awesome? I don't get it. So the older I get, the more it's starting to make sense to me.
Yeah, I think that's everyone. If you pay attention. But there's so many people that don't. They just have their head down, they're moving, and they come up with excuses, and they're lying to themselves. They still think they're the old person, but they really know they're not. And it just builds and builds and builds, and then they're like, well, I'm too far gone. I can't make a change. Dude, one thing, we did a 5K on the Christmas 5K. I think it was last week. Was it last week? I think 2 weeks, week before last.
Yeah,
last week was insane.
With Dan.
We were busy.
With Dan.
Well, so Dan, of course, did it. You know, but I talked 10 people into doing it that have never done anything. My dad, my stepmom, my neighbors.
Oh, good.
Like our friends and other neighbors. Like some people that work out with us that don't run. Soup did it. Yeah. Like dude, 10 people because we just talked them into it. They finished it.
Love
like
it.
These people finished it, and it's like some of them didn't, but some of them still did more than they've ever done in their whole life. And some of them didn't run it; they walked it, but they still finished something. They wouldn't even learn a list, and because some idiot talked them into doing it. But sometimes, like, you just nudge those people because you know you know what it's done for yourself. Like doing a 5K for me is not shit now, right? But for a lot of people, it is. Like
it's
for
a bucket list.
Yeah, and well, a lot of people they don't know that it's so funny to see people go out there and then you see them be competitive.
I love it.
And they didn't even mean to be, but you asked them to show up, and you're like, oh shit. Well, you just gave them a little nudge to say one. In the back of their mind, they're probably thinking, I can't do that shit. But you gave them a little nudge, and now they did it, and they're like, oh shit. Well, maybe that gives them, just opens that one little door where they can, I can do a little bit more now. And you know, it sucked, but I felt so good for myself after I got done. I was so proud of myself, you know.
And I just thought about that when you said I couldn't do that. So there's a lot of people that either they just put themselves on a back burner, or they've been seriously injured and like health concerns or whatever. And that they're just looking at it going, I don't even know where to begin. I don't even know how to start. I want to start, but it's scary. Like, what if I hurt myself? Like all of that. And I am sensitive to that because I'm one of them.
Yeah.
So I would even say that the top of the top people that you know have had to start over many times. So whoever is wanting to start. Don't think like, okay, because I have to walk, that I can't eventually get to run, or like you can't big squat. I can't big squat anymore. That now I have a different training style to try to get something out of it without beating yourself to death. Mm-hmm. And so I'm going to that where if you haven't thought about doing like isometric holds, you might want to think about that.
Like I just on some of the warm-ups we've been doing, just like on the chest down, slightly elevated today, and my whole body looks like someone's electrocuting me. Yeah. And I'm just like, there's weakness there, right?
So like for your runners or for like this guy, so like a lunge, like a split squat where your knee is going down by the ground, you should be able to hold that for about 90 seconds each leg. And it'll bring out some parts where you don't realize are really weak, and you've been overcompensating with different things. I've been experimenting with that quite a bit for, I don't know, the last 60 days. So there's a lot of that where, let's say your right foot is forward and your knee is about 2 inches from the ground, or if you don't have good, your knees are not good, go as low as you can. So think of a wall sit, but 1 foot in front of the other. Mm-hmm. And that you want to get to where you can hold it for 90 seconds on each side. And what it's going to do is refire the things that are supposed to fire instead of the things that you've been overcompensating and avoiding. So like if your quads are super dominant, they'll get burnt out real quick. And then it's going to go down to like your glute medius. And then your hamstring has to go in. Like everything has to stabilize to where you get back to what you're supposed to be doing instead of what we've been doing to it. And that the same thing goes for your upper body. So I've been doing a lot of the 1 minute holds. So I'm not able to do the pull up part of it yet for more than one set. But you'll take the lat pull you can do it supinated or neutral or pronate, doesn't matter. But you're going to hold it like it's going to staple to your chest for 60 seconds. And it's with like 80% of your body weight.
That's hard.
And so you go 60 seconds, shaking real crazy. And then you come up and you wait 1 minute. And then you go do as many pull-ups as you can, or if you can't do pull-ups, drop the weight significantly, and then you do as many as you can until like you got the blood flow back in there and you don't feel like everything's all tight and crazy. So multiple sets of doing things like that also will help you. So the tendons, they don't respond like the muscles do. They can't, because the blood flow doesn't go like that.
And they don't grow.
No.
They're one size, and they're there.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so in order to get the tendons, you need lots and lots and lots of either negative work or you need isometric work. So if you don't do the negative and or isometric work, you're going to keep having tendon issues, because the tendon is not, it responds like 1/10 of the muscle. Like you can get a muscle fire real quick and you can get real strong, but that's why people that like progress too fast, they tear their bicep.
Yeah.
Or they tear their pec because the muscle is ready to go. The tendon's like, no, hold on, man. Y'all ain't even got any blood to me yet. What are we doing? So a change in training like that, even for your injured population, even for your high level population, if you're not good at doing holds, try it. Try it, watch what happens. Hold, like if you're really, really strong, hold the top of a pull-up for a minute. Don't come down. I mean, do it. And then if you can't do 2 sets, then go down to the lat pull and then continue. Same thing goes for like bat wing rows. So like you got chest on a bar or chest on a bench, and you hold big kettlebells, big dumbbells, but you have to hold that. Once that minute is up, then you can go ahead and start alternating. But number one, it removes the ego, because you can't do wild things for, static stuff for the majority of the world. Now, if you're super world class, maybe you can, but majority of us, it's just not that. And that your tendons will feel better and your joints will feel better because they're doing what you're supposed to do. Then your training, you can do your training after that, but I'd say if you haven't added it, add it. And some people, isometric is probably all you should be doing right now, like wall sit. You can do a wall sit if you can't squat. So if you can't load your spine, a wall sit will get you where you need to go. Or like that split lunge, it'll get you where you need to go.
Yeah, I think everyone should do at least squats, air squats, push-ups, and some type of sit-up every day.
Sure.
If nothing else, like even if it's 5.
I like a crawl. A crawl to me is my favorite because it exposes stuff that you don't want to expose.
You're talking about bringing your leg way up. So
keep your knee about an inch from the floor.
Yeah.
So keep your knee an inch from the floor.
But how far you bring your feet around?
Just depends on how far you want to go. As long as, so I always I had 8, 10 people this morning. I told them, act like there's a cup of water on your back and you're not allowed to spill it.
Yeah.
And so you can say, all right, I need you to go 5 yards forward, 5 yards backwards, 5 yards to the left, 5 yards to the right. That's number 1. We have 6 sets. Execute however you need to. If you're going too fast and you spill your water, start over. And it humbles I don't care who you are, it's going to humble you. Your quads are going to burn, your shoulders are going to burn, your abs are going to kill you. And then it's firing the things up you're supposed to. And that way, training doesn't have to be like, I have to go into a gym. I have to make myself uncomfortable. I don't know what I'm doing.
Well, that's another excuse that they're immediately, I don't want to work out in front of people.
That's okay.
So they check that box and they just move on and they never do it.
Yeah, or if you're really, really uncomfortable, hire somebody for like 4 sessions.
Yeah.
And take the Christmas money that you would have given yourself, I don't know, you went out to the bar or something. Your bar tab could hire somebody for 4 sessions. Mm-hmm. And hire somebody and say, hey, look, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not interested in training for 6 months. Who cares? Just say, I just need to know what to do in this facility with a program, and that I'm going to repeat this myself. That is about, when I was training, that would have been the greatest. Like, okay, cool. Yeah, no worries. And if you do well by them, you're going to get more business.
Yeah, they're going to refer you people. Yeah. So before I lose this thought, Josh, can you look up, just because I want to tell people this and I want the people to think about it, because people measure their steps, right?
Yeah.
So how many average steps are in 3 miles?
I don't know.
I want to know that.
I know the average person only steps like 2,500 a day.
Right. And I'm not moving if I'm not getting 10,000 a day. You know what I mean? And that's me. That's just because that's my my floor.
So I would say every person for health should get above 10,000.
So 3 miles, 6,000 to 7,000 steps. So when people think they can't run a 5K or walk a 5K, you're probably, even if you're on the average, you're still walking a mile a day, which is nothing. So just remember, like, I just want people to think about that, because I thought about, like, remember that, and like keep that in mind, that 6,000 to 7,000 miles is a 3 miles. So if you already can walk that every day, you easily could go compete in a 5K and start trying to run it, a little bit.
Yep. And for weight loss, so I'm glad you said that. For regular health, 10,000 a day. For weight loss, every person should do 15,000. And that's hard and fast rule, American Heart Association, all that. 15,000 steps for weight loss. That goes for anything pharmaceutical that you're putting in, any of that. That's in addition to strength training. That's not like your sole goal of life.
That's another what people, because I'll have this conversation with people, like, I'm on my feet all day, I'm doing this, whatever. Like, I've had this conversation. Even my mom used to say that, like, I'm on my feet all day, and I was like, well, that's your floor.
That's just normal.
That's
human.
Your body's used to that. So if you're saying that is your exercise, that is not, because your body is used to that. You have to step it up a notch to get something else flow. Now, it may not be additional steps. It might be laying down the floor and stretching and moving a little different.
Sure.
That may be the additional strain,
So I like the addition of like a 10-pound weight vest. So like one of those little reflective ones, like you don't have to put a bunch on people.
Yeah.
And that even if they're on their nightly walk, just a little 10-pound weight vest, that is a lot more strenuous to the body than they usually have.
Or an incline, an incline on a treadmill.
Yeah, just absolutely.
It literally
just don't
doubles.
Hang on.
It doubles.
Now, they can't do the cardio queen. You know what I'm talking about.
You can't hang. No, like, make yourself move. If you rest in your hands, cool, but you have to move. You can't hang on and let it pull you up.
That's why I like the stair mill, because you can't.
Stair's great, but
it's a pain in the ass.
Well, and people quit too easy.
Yeah,
they quit too quick.
You're right.
Like, I used to do fasted cardio every morning and with the stairs, just because it was easy. So I'd go get on that thing for 30 minutes, and I might hit a little bit of weights, and then I'd go on about my day, and then I'd go back and get like a hard gym session that evening. And that was just like my go-to. And dude, that would literally, I could drink. I was drink 2 or 3 nights during the week, and that would, what I'm saying is that would cancel everything out, so I wasn't losing any progress. It was kind of a cheat code, but it's like, I was to get up and do fasted cardio in the morning. That'll knock off everything I put on the night before. I'm not telling people to do that, but that was kind of what I would do.
Fair.
Just to kind of keep living my bad lifestyle. Now I've since changed all that, but like, it is to think about. Sometimes I'm like, well, what if I got up and did fasted cardio and start doing that again? I think about it from time to time. I'm like, damn, I don't want to. And 2, I don't need to right now. I'm burning enough and I'm doing enough, You
might just go for a small 10-minute walk after dinner. That'll help with your, like, the blood sugar.
Yeah.
And that maybe it's just something where do you have a dog? Mm-mm. I was going to say, if you had a dog or
I'm putting so many miles, like, for me, I think I would rather get up every morning at 4 and just go run 5 miles.
Okay.
And then just do about my day and keep my regimen like I'm going. And it's not because I want to be a runner, but I just felt like, get up, cold plunge, go run.
I got something for you. Jump rope.
I could do that.
You don't have to go anywhere.
Yeah.
And I think, because the calf is the second heart anyways.
Yeah.
So if people were thinking of it like that, when you're seated for that long, that's why people have circulatory issues.
Yeah.
So like a jump rope.
Did you see that recent article out on that? Yeah. Mm-hmm. I saw that too a couple weeks ago.
And so it's really cool. Like, that's why I love, so that part of social media I really like.
Can you pull that up, Josh? There's a study.
It's a second heart.
Yeah. And there's some information about the calf being your second heart and how much people aren't circulating that part of their body.
Yep.
So just put calf second heart article. Calf, like your calf muscle.
Yep. And so if people are looking to how to get better at running without running, so there are lots of playlists that you can do. So the correct way to run is 180 beats a minute. So it should go, your steps should be like this all the time. So there's playlists that have, like, the beat of it is 180 beats a minute.
Steps.
Yes. So on your elliptical, you can do non-pounding 180 beats a minute, or on the bicycle 180 beats. Keep that cycling, and that it's getting your body used to the rhythm, because when people are running, they're overstriding, they're flat-footed, and they're running like they're sprinting, and that's not the way. You're supposed to have a forward lean. And then, now granted, Dan probably would murder me for this because he actually is an efficient runner, but hard and fast rule, if you're going to go through it, it's usually about 180 beats a minute.
See, and I don't care to be a runner. I just like the aspect of like a fasted cardio in the morning and then doing my day. Like, I don't in no way, I do these stupid challenges with these fools just because it's to push me. But in no way do I want to become a runner, because I do not. I've already seen it just in high rocks training. I lose too much strength, and I'm just not interested. But I'm okay. I would still be okay with putting 20 miles in a week. If it just is like my.
I wonder if you would do better at sprint intervals.
Yeah, so I would 1,000%.
800 meters times 4.
Yeah, that's more my vibe. But
So,
like getting up and doing it cold, is that good? You know, like maybe like a slow, like half a mile run,
Yeah.
and then do some sprints would be more my vibe.
And that way you still got the same distance.
Yeah.
So you may keep the aesthetics, plus you're getting your endurance, because the rest period is not
It's
long.
not even the aesthetics I'm worried about. It's more the strength, like, and just how I feel and how I hold weight.
Right.
So scroll up. What does it say? So what's the highlighted part say there? So your calf muscles are called the second heart because they act as a vital pump, contracting with movement like walking to push deoxygenated blood from your legs back up to your heart, fighting gravity with the help of one-way valves in your veins, preventing blood pooling, swelling, and clots, and supporting overall circulation.
Yep.
So how it works is you get muscle contraction, blood population, valves, gravity's helper. So like all those things are key parts of it. But yeah, I mean, people don't think about it. And I did see that study, and you brought it up. I forgot about it, but I'm glad we brought it up here just for people to look up that information. Is if you're not moving your legs, you're not helping your heart.
Yeah. So even if you're not coordinated with the jump rope, they have the ropeless jump ropes where it's a little ball at the end, and it counts like the old school skip it. You remember that thing where you jump over that? But it can count, and you can do it in an office, you can do it wherever, because there's no space requirement. So
And that's a good thing to bring up too, because like we do a lot of double unders now, but like jump rope was the number one like thing when you warm up before you did a fight, like before we were fight training. Like you're gonna shadow box, you jump rope. So 3 rounds jump rope, 3 rounds shadow box before you touch a bag.
Yep.
And then we'll talk about other things. You know what I mean?
And I guarantee you'd be much less likely to tear an Achilles if you were used to being on your toes and like the tissue was healthy, versus if you're sedentary and then you do decide a new year, new me, and you just go run and that tissue is kind of nasty, you could tear it. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's not a good look for anybody.
Achilles issue will set you back for years.
You may not ever run right again.
No, or even walk right, or even be able to put weight on it.
I'm a big fan of just the lowest level that you can get to make sure you have a good quality of life. Do that. They've
changed some stuff in competition, the open, and some of these workouts and all these CrossFit competitions. Is a lot of people, we've seen that recently. Can you bring that up too, Josh? Box jumps, step downs Achilles issue with box jump downs.
Yeah,
so they've changed box jumps. Achilles issues with box jumps. So they've changed it to where you have to step down now.
Good.
On some of these competitions. Cause Achilles issues. Yeah, so there's been a lot of people have Achilles issues as CrossFit athletes. So you're still doing the jump, but you're stepping down instead of jumping down. And so like even a box jump over, they're telling you like to step down. And this has been brought up in competitions recently, and then now all workouts are applying that. Like, we're not going to jump down. We're going to step down.
Because the risk is not worth the reward.
No.
So, and they wouldn't have known. Granted, hindsight is always good. Everybody can say, man, you should have known. You should have known. Yeah, but you don't know until you know. And anything that's new, you're going to have people that are they're going to be the test subjects. So, from a physiology standpoint, I always looked at it like, I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole, because it violates every principle you're always taught. But I can't hate on it, because once I realized that it's just different rules for a different sport, and that it's not going to apply all the way, and that I had to take an open mind with it. And that when you take an open mind, you can understand it. And it still may not be for you, but you still got to go and put your toe in the water and figure out, what is it? How does it go? Like, what happens? Otherwise, you get these researchers that have never done anything, but they speculate on everything. Right. And that I don't trust them at all. Like, if they've never done it, get out of here.
Well, this is there's pure science, right? It's like they have enough athletes have issues with Achilles because of this one activity directly related to it, that they're like, okay, we're going to change it. But I mean, this is the intense strain from landing and rapidly rebounding, jumping down, which overloads the tendon, particularly it performed stiffy, landing on toes or with tight calves. That's the problem. If you're doing it for volume, you're trying to get as many reps as possible most of the time, or you're trying to finish within a certain time cap. So you're going for volume. And so you're not thinking of how you're landing. You're just trying to land and jump back up. And so you're literally loading and deloading. Like, I mean, what? So it would say you're putting load on, you're jumping up, landing on that tight tendon, and then you're jumping right back down where it's tight. It's never been able to contract and release.
Yeah, well, fatigue is what's causing this.
Yeah.
So the lifting weights to me is one of the lowest incidents of injury that you can do of anything, because it's supposed to be controlled atmosphere. When you add competition into it, that's what makes it dangerous.
Of course.
So human beings,
but that makes it fun.
Yeah, 100%. So like strength training in of itself, when people get scared of lifting weights, it's the safest thing you can do.
Yeah, because you have to push yourself. If you want to get stronger, you just push yourself. But you still can do it at your pace.
100%.
You can PR with 2 pounds.
But
if you had 2 pounds, you hadn't PR'd in 6 months, and you keep trying to get a PR because you're adding 10 or 15 pounds. If you just add a little bit,
So that's progressive overload is if you abide by that principle, and at 2 pounds, 2 pounds, 2 pounds, 2 pounds, and that in a year it's over 100 pounds of gain, which that makes sense. But in a competition, it doesn't work like that because you're trying to do it faster than the competitor. So a lot of times the technique that you're supposed to have doesn't exist. You're just getting up and over however you have to, and that stuff like that happens. So luckily and fortunately for the people that are still competing, they're recognizing, look, man, it's not worth losing athletes over this, because a lot of times you don't come back the same when you have that. And that
because a lot of those guys have strain. Everyone has Achilles strain, especially if you're doing a lot of that anyways. Like, can you imagine a tear?
No. After my quad, dude, I was never right. I still am not good. So I can only imagine. I don't want to imagine the Achilles, but it is same thing with slap tears in the shoulder. So like you're having people doing muscle ups that cannot do weighted pull-ups. That's a problem.
Yeah.
So if you can't do weighted pull-ups or weighted dips, so like for real weighted dips, we're talking like 90 pounds around your waist for a weighted pull-up and 90 for a dip. If you don't have certain strength standards in the areas you're supposed to have, you will tear. Because even like in external rotation, if you can't do like a knee up on the bench, external rotation with about 35 pounds for 8 clean reps, you got no business doing it at all. Not a hard stop, no. Because the areas that are not strong is what's going to tear. So the rotator cuff, it's going to tear. So big movers up here, big lat movers. Yeah, you can do it, but what happens to the ones that are not good? So and I've said this for years and I'll always say this. Your safety is going to be determined on the quality and competence of the coach that you're around. If that coach does not understand the structure of the body and how to make sure that it's bulletproof, you are at risk. And especially if you are a highly competitive person, you are at risk. And that they don't know it because they've never had to know it. And then when you get a rash of injuries and you're like, oh shit, well, we didn't think of that. So that's why you need to consult all the tribes and say, hey, we're gonna do this. How do we do this the best?
Yeah.
That's the best answer is, okay, we're gonna do this, but how do we rope this into our prehab? So like when you guys are getting warmed up for like a big snatch session, I promise you, I'd be doing face pulls, inverted rows, I'd be doing those external rotators, and then I'd be doing SOTS presses like with the quickness. If you're not, you go ahead and receive 225 if you want to, and then you ain't ready, that one wiggle, and now you got a slap tear, you got to get your bicep re-anchored at the wrong part. Probably not great. But not every coach is going to have that, but it would be very smart if they reached out to somebody that would give them the insight, saying, okay, show me your programming, and I can show you. I don't want to change it. You may just change the order of it, and you may change what's the preparatory thing, like here's your buy-in and then here's your cash out. So it doesn't have to be a buy-in of something crazy hard. The buy-in could be you can't get in this workout until you hit 100 inverted rows. You can't come in. The buy-in could be you can't come, or the cash out could be you can't get out of here until you do 25 shoulder openers and then some kind of hip range of motion. It could be something like that.
Yeah.
Depending on where they are with their programming. And I know it's super science, nerdy, weird stuff, but
no, it's important. I spent the better half of the past 3 years not warming up properly, even for these workouts. Now, since we've been on Mayhem, we've been doing Mayhem strict, strenuously for the past year and a half, but also then adding in stuff with CrossFit SBC now. So I'm going to 2 different CrossFit gyms and doing 2 different programs.
What's that, Cole? Is it Cole?
It's Justin Miller at SBC.
Justin Miller. Where's Cole? No Ceilings?
Cole. Yeah, Cole's at No Ceilings.
Yeah,
Cole's great too.
Yeah, he seems cool.
Yeah, they have a good program too. They're great. I need to get him on here. I talked to him about it. We need to get that. But yeah, they're great. Those guys they're doing a good job. And Justin, I like him. He's been on.
Okay.
But it's a really great, good warm up, a good strength portion, and then a great metcon. You know what I mean? And same thing with Mayhem. We'll do a little some warm up, probably not enough, a strength portion, and then a metcon. So like doing that, but back to doing that now, hopefully twice a day for at least 3 days a week, and then once a day for 2 days. So like back in that now, so that's great. But like I wanted to kind of shift gears before we run out of time about what's going on with the DoD, man. What's going on with you and the programming there and the guys and gals, and like what's that looking like? What's the temperature? Because I know a lot of stuff has changed in the past year, even the past 6 months that we talked about. Kind of not even touching the political sphere, but just as far as like the departments and the adjustments in military and like what does that look like?
So lots of tentative good. So it's a lot of like, hey, we're more to come. That's a lot of like, hey, we're gonna keep changing. So as it stands right now, 2 mile has been introduced above the 1.5 miles, and there's lots of people freaking out. Some rightly so, because they were barely getting by on the 1.5 miles, and I understand that. So running has been, that's why I was like the 180 beats a minute, like I was kind of sliding those things in there. That's on the forefront of people's headspace. And so I'm trying to get them ahead of this. So luckily, this is the first time I've ever had a full team. Like this is the most enjoyable that I've ever had this job. So I got a new flight commander, which is, I guess he's my boss, but we don't function like that. It's weird. So like I'm the team lead, but he's like my boss, but he's also like a clinical site guy. But we just kind of like, we just exist and do cool stuff. Like there's no weird like oversight thing. I don't know. It's just a structural thing how this goes. But he just got here from Georgia, Major David Duke. He's a good dude. Clinical psychologist, so adds the mental health practice to this. Very good balance. I like that guy. And then we just got a brand new physical therapist. He just started seeing patients last week. And then we got same deal. We got Big Jeff, who's a strength coach. And then you got me. So what we're doing is revamping how we're trying to look at this. So I am rallying all the troops, no pun intended. Any helping agency that can get in there and help. Trying to make sure the fitness center has the things that they need, looking at grants and looking at congressional, anything that I can kind of figure out how can I make their facility the best that I can, because they have the toys I need to play with. It has nothing to do with me. I'm not under their chain of command, but it has everything to do with me because I have to have that place good. Otherwise, we can't prep people the way they need to be prepped. Then when we're looking at the health promotion side is a lady, Zia, awesome lady. And trying to get her to where she is the go-to person for any and all health education stuff. And that it's not looked at as me, because it's not my position anymore. I want it looked at as her. And that way they go to her and like we are the backstop. So like subject matter experts on the back, like there's no more. Like this is where you go when you can't get the answer from down here, you come up here. So keep her as full as we can, because the waist to height ratio thing is back to where it's not so much a BMI, because that's trash. Like I'm super obese on BMI.
Yeah, me too. So, yeah, you can't go by that.
But it's the waist to height. So
that's a good measurement. I like that.
So it's called central adiposity, to where how much fat you got around your abdomen and organs. That's definitely is dangerous for most people. And that usually you're going to have the same scores. You're going to have very poor 2 mile time if you have high central adiposity. And that, so they're trying to make sure that waist measurement comes down, so health risk comes down, and then your physical endurance goes up because they want your heart and lungs to be better. I understand the rationale. I don't agree with a lot of it, but I understand it, and we're going to prep people for whatever they're asking. And then on the backside of that, I looped in disease management, because every person, whether you like it or not, should be eating like a diabetic. So trying to get all fronts, because there's going to be a major like, oh man, we got to get our stuff together when March hits, because that's the official like go. It's going to count. The physical therapist, make sure that people know that, okay, here's your lower limb injuries. This is what's going to happen. Here's how you can use like KT tape, or like how you can like kind of self treat yourself, so that way you don't have all these injuries. Then you got the health lady and the disease management trying to keep the weight down because they're just not used to it. And then troublemaker of all, I'm looping in the Army, I'm looping in the Navy, looping in everybody, because I'm trying to get them used to executing on Army standards, because it's above Air Force standards. And if we have a joint military action, you should be able to go shoulder to shoulder with any service on this earth, because you are capable of executing exactly the way that they're executing. So the way that I program the training is, you're going to do this plus some, because I don't want you ever to get down there and then they're like, what are you here? You can't do anything. So it's a shock to the system, but it's the right one. So when I say making trouble, it's just I'm shaking the tree, because I can see way ahead of what's about to happen. And that if we need you to be able to physically, execute, I hope that you can do it. And that's also going to keep people less hurt.
Yeah.
So this is our very first time having a full team, which is crazy. And that we're about to go into a giant wrench turning unit. I think it's 600 people. Go ahead and help that one. And then I think this is the first time I'll actually get an outdoor facility. It's the first opportunity, I'm saying in the universe right now, first opportunity that I'll actually get something where I can say, this is the appropriate way you're supposed to do this. And there's a roof on there and the whole deal, because like my trailer is great, but it's in the elements all the time. If it's freezing cold, if it's raining, everybody's kind of SOL.
Right.
If you have the solution that I'm talking about, it has a roof, a 40-foot Connex on one side, because I got a 20-foot trailer. This is a 40-foot Connex with an Army loadout, where it has trap bar deadlifts and kettles and all the other fun stuff, and thousands of pounds of weights, bars and squat racks.
And they already have all this stuff set up too, huh? Like
it's all packages.
You just turnkey that,
100%.
Yeah.
And then the other side of the roof be another 40-foot Connex, but it's all cardio equipment, which is all non-weight bearing, because that's what I'm trying to do. Because running is going to tear them up. So you have non-impact stuff, to where you got the curved treadmills, you got the ski ergs, you got the rowers, you got the sleds, and then you got the bikes. So we can train appropriately, and you're not beating their feet and ankles up.
Yeah.
And then the last Connex on the back is the treatment trailer, another 40-foot trailer, to where my physical therapist and my mental health guy can do their treatment. And in the middle, there's a 40-foot turfed area, 40-yard turfed area, which coincidentally would serve as their shuttle test. So I'm trying my best to get that physical campus going, and that way our base can be used as one of those benchmarks and say, man, they're really doing it right there. And because they did it like this, the injury rates fell by X amount of percent. The failure rates went down by this percent. The only thing that it is troublesome is it's expensive. So the dollar signs, they're significant, but I'm sure there's ways we can kind of get towards that. So like when I get back to the office, I got to write a grant, or try to write a grant. I've never written a grant ever, but trying, and try to get some more equipment that they need, because I think that is my role here. Is even if I don't know how long I'll be here, I have no idea, because you never know, opportunities, they could pop up whenever. But while I'm here, this thing is going to roll the way it's supposed to roll. And like I told you, there's no. You can't tell me no.
Yeah.
You can delay me, but you can't stop me. It's going to happen. And we're going to make it to where it's the way it's supposed to be, because it's the right thing to do, because I believe that we have one of the most important impacts in this entire country. So that's why I say it in the universe, like it's going to happen, because it's gonna. You just got to put the right energy towards it. Otherwise, it's never coming. Because if you don't say it and you don't act on it, why should they give it to you?
No, yeah, you're right.
And that sometimes you got to debo it and then just act like you meant it. But there's been a real big push towards fitness and like hard PT. I don't know what that means, but to me, I'm taking it for every syllable that it's worth. If you said hard PT, yep, bet. Because I'm taking it to the letter of the law. We're about to throw down.
Well, yeah, I mean, look, I'm not in that space, but I would just imagine, like, I know people that I train with, and I know people that are old heads from military that were deployed and were in it, in Afghanistan, multiple tours, and I'm still working out with some of these people, and I'm talking about.
I do.
And I know what they had to do. Mm-hmm. And I know what they had to, and I know that they had to apply those skills too.
Correct.
So like, why would that not be the standard all the time?
So,
because at any given day, when you have to go then apply those skills and the skills aren't there, we got a problem.
So that's why every time somebody sees me come in the room, it's either like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Or they get all excited because I tell people it's elevated expectation every time. So when you see me, know it's about to go exactly how you think it's going to go. And you're going to get through it. It's going to be hard. And I'm doing this because I care about you. I'm not doing this to you. I'm doing it for you.
And it's because it's what you signed up for.
Yeah.
If you're going to be someone who's going to represent the people who are defending this nation, and that's what's asked of you. I mean, dude. I mean, it's unfortunate. Like and like I said, I haven't been in that position, but I've worked alongside of a lot of people who have, and when I hear them, I'm just like, okay, well, I agree with you.
This is what it is. That's another reason why I think that every youth should have to do hard things. I don't care who it is.
Even do stuff you don't want to do.
Hard
it doesn't
stuff.
even have to. Hard is doing something you don't want to do. Right?
Yeah, I don't care if it's cleaning out horse stalls.
I don't care if it's taking the trash out. If you say, "Oh, I don't want to do it," I'm making you do it.
Because you never know when you're going to need to be able to access that. Mm-hmm. So, granted, my kids I probably get on their nerves all the time.
I know I get on mine.
But they have to train. Like they have to. I don't care what they do. Is look, come out in the garage. You have to do something. And maybe it's 1 day a week, maybe it's 2 days a week. It just depends on how much I've been seeing them laying around. But they gotta do something because if I don't, like I'm doing good, but now you're not doing good. So that sucks for me.
Yeah.
So I don't know, because the airmen we're getting, and I can't speak for all the branches, but they're just softer than they should be.
Well, it's not military. It's society in general, right? And that's just part of it. Like we're looking at a vast majority of people in society now, from the age of 18 to 23.
Yeah.
That's kind of the average age, right? If you're coming in,
About that.
Yeah, and so those individuals aren't the same as they were 10 years ago.
No.
It's not about the military. It's more about that's the society that you have to work with.
You see that post that I put up about the 1960s gym class?
Oh, I think was it a while back?
Probably a week ago.
I don't know.
And so the 1960s in the gym class, they have all these they're boys in there, but girls can be included too. But all these boys, they're doing essentially like an obstacle course. Mm-hmm. And it was a regular gym class where they had to do dips and they had to do pull-ups and they had to do like monkey bar climbs, mm-hmm. and they were doing like back handsprings. And this is in 60 years ago, we had it figured out. Mm-hmm. But
we're all on the brink of war all the time too. We still are. It's just different, right?
We got the fattened calf right now.
Exactly.
So if we can turn it around, because there's more parents that are more active now, physically fit, just for recreation or aesthetics than have ever been. All we got to do is just expand that to the kids and then put that into the school system, because right now gym's an elective. Yeah. Did you know that?
Yeah, which is absolutely bullshit.
It's an elective. That's so wild to me. Like we used to have to go to gym.
Choose not to do it. No, we had to. Yeah.
And that if let's say you had 2 days a week of gym and it was actual like training, I think you'd turn it around, man. Because from 8 to 18, that's a really big age of life.
That's where you're developing. One, your hormones are changing. Like you're gaining. Like that's the best time to activate any muscle growth ever. That's the best time to activate.
Brain too, because then you go, okay, this is just normal. Mm-hmm. Like it's normal to move. So if your kid gets used to just not moving, that's what they're gonna do. So if they get used to like being not the best on their team, but have to work to be the best on their team, that also is gonna show up later in life. They may get to the work center and they're not the smartest, they're not the best, they're the new guy or new girl, and that they work their ass off to where now they're a respected member of the team. Because if they don't start when they're little, that's a slap in the face when you get out of college and life has been cushy, and that somebody goes, yeah, you kind of suck, and then you go, well, I'm quitting this job because they told me I suck. You probably just need to sack it up and go and be better. And then if you still want to go to another company, you're just better.
Yeah, that's like I was talking about earlier. That floor needs to be raised back up a little bit. Like they need to be at 10,000 steps a day, no matter what. And then they can choose what they want to do after that. You know what I mean? If you still want to go sit at a desk all day or do nothing, that's cool, but at least get those steps in.
So if I won the lottery, I promise you that this is what would happen. I told you I'd get back to the wrestling thing. I promise you that I would have a weekly or monthly or some kind of spot on whatever newscast that they could give me that would incentivize every youth person to get into wrestling or boxing or powerlifting or anything. Like if you're sitting at home during the wintertime, and if the parents are listening to this, and if your kid's sitting at home right now and they're not wrestling or lifting big ass weights and they're in high school, we have a problem. Like if you're a middle school kid,
you're talking about the athletes?
Oh, right now.
Yeah.
Any
athletes,
kid.
Yeah.
No,
any kid. Okay.
Any kid, dude. That's why I love wrestling, because you don't have to be big, you don't have to be strong, you can be short, you can be tall, and that any kid, boy or girl, girls wrestling's blowing up right now.
Yeah, good friend of mine's daughter just started doing it. We're trying to get my daughter to do it, but that's not her vibe yet. Whatever, but
mine neither.
Cool.
She won't do it, but she's good. That's what sucks. Like she gives my son a run for his money.
Oh, same.
And I'm thinking, dang it, man, but she ain't geared like that. But I would say any kid, because it's a safety thing, number one. It shows you how to get whooped and to whoop somebody, number two. And it makes you struggle every day. Powerlifting, same thing. Like that, there is no weight that's not going to squish you. It's an inevitable thing that you're going to get smashed. So do it. Like my neighbor's kid, like she was never like in real like athletic, but I just watched her double 350 on a squat.
That's what I'm talking about.
They was freaking crazy. I'm talking about a 16, 17-year-old kid, which blew my mind. And it was something where she could excel at something that maybe it's not a team sport, but it was something that she can get off her couch and go do something and feel good about. So anybody that has any youth, anybody, get them off the couch and then get them into a gym. If they're not good enough for basketball, fine. Get them on the mat. If they're not on the mat, they better be in the gym under somebody's squat rack. Like you gotta get them in there, because they're not magically gonna say, okay, I don't want to play Fortnite 16 hours a day.
No, they're never gonna say that.
In the springtime, if they're not playing baseball, damn sure better be running track or playing soccer or tennis. You gotta do something. So if they have to do something, if they don't do something, they're going to end up being the adults that you're like, man, get off your ass. Like, why are you not?
I mean, it's not, this is not rocket science, right? It's like, if you're lazy throughout your entire childhood and you don't have to be made to do something hard or something you don't want to do, then you're become a member of society who then does not want to do anything. And then we're flipping this thing on its head, and we're trying to make change now. We're in a really good spot now where we have some momentum, and it's just from an entire like country perspective. We have some momentum for people to do better, with themselves, in business, in life, in sports, and just just anything like diet, exercise, all this stuff. Like I feel like we have good trajectory. Like you see all these big celebs doing all these, like Jelly Roll losing hundreds of
like that's so cool,
right? It's so like, but you see these things and people are hyped up about it. Like we're in a good space. Like if we keep that momentum, but you can't if we lose it in 10 years because these kids become adults, like, and they have nothing to offer society but to sit there on their ass and move their fingers around. Well, then where are we going to be?
There's one way you could probably do that, and so recruit the ones that are not athletes and acknowledge that they're not.
Yeah.
And say, look, this is not about you winning anything right now. This is about you getting your health the way it's supposed to be.
You have a body for a reason.
So, and learn, it's just a skill. It's another language that you can speak. So if you got good at tennis, that's a language I can't speak. So getting good, so like let's say that, like my mom's not an athlete, But she ran track because it allowed her to do something to where she felt like she was contributing. It was a social thing. So however you got to spin it as a teacher. So Bossier, Caddo, whatever parish, like the teachers, notice those kids that you know they're not involved in something, pander to them to where they can be a part of something. And that you're not going to get these people that are just kind of lost. They fall through the cracks, man.
Well, I hate that, and this term's been around forever. My kid's not athletic. Well, your kid doesn't have to be athletic.
Doesn't matter.
There's you can still make them move and do something.
Yeah,
right?
and
I'm not saying, look, I'm not sitting here saying you suck as a parent. You need to make your kids do sports. No, but I'm just agreeing with you. Everyone needs to do something.
Something
Or
they
you're
feel
gonna die.
good about.
You're gonna die.
So
you're gonna die early. You're gonna die sick. You know what I mean? It just is what it is.
I would say mandate one season per year. You don't have to be all round, all year round athlete, but if they have one competitive season for a year, I think that's plenty for kids.
My son's he's playing soccer.
Great, man.
He does that and that's it. But like for the longest time, we didn't think he was going to do anything.
Sure.
It's like he found that cool. He likes it. My daughter, she's still just doing gymnastics. That's all she wants to do.
Look,
but she's more athletic far more athletic than him. But she doesn't want to do anything else. But at least she's doing something.
And she's
doing it every week.
Moves her body.
Yeah.
So that is the big thing. My oldest is very similar, where she could be extremely good, but it's not in her to want to do that. It's a social thing. Mm-hmm. So she wants to be a part of it, and just so happens that she has to go to practice to be a part of that. That's okay with me. I don't care. Like look, my path is not your path, and it shouldn't be. But I will tell you, there's only one secret, and I tell all the kids, I have the answer. I have the secret. There's only one. Work harder than everybody else is willing to do for longer than they're willing to do it. And I swear to you, you'll do great at everything in life. That's the only secret. It's just be involved and go hard for a long time. There's nothing else that I can give you. I wish that I could give you the easy thing. I swear to you, show up, go hard, do a little bit extra than everybody else, and watch life unfold in a way that you didn't realize it.
Yeah, I agree. Well, before we wrap up, you got anything else?
I'm glad that I came back. See, because 26, I think this is going to be a good year for everybody. If you don't get yourself caught up in the news feed, I think you'll be okay. And
I've drastically decreased mine. I don't know where yours is at, but dude, I'm not scrolling or looking at anything. I will distract myself sometimes if I cold plunge in the morning by looking at like funny Kill Tony clips or something. Yep. But other than that, dude, I'm not spending much time there. And I'm only saying that to tell people that I used to spend a lot of time there, and I would use it as an excuse, well, I do this for a living, so I need to consume a little bit. I don't hardly consume anything anymore.
See, I found myself getting down some rabbit holes. So this is my 26 call to action for everybody is be aware, but just understand that you control what's in your own skin more so than you control what you're viewing with your eyes. So control you getting up doing something awesome for yourself, control how your household runs, control like your neighborhood stuff. Just you can be a good addition regardless of what's happening in West Bank, regardless what's happening in the White House, regardless what is happening at your local. It doesn't matter. If you don't control you and your house is in disarray, none of the other stuff matters. We're just focusing on the wrong stuff sometimes. So for 26, if you can get yourself and your house in order, let the other shit burn to the ground, because there's nothing that you're going to do that's going to be positive if you're not okay yourself. I would say that is mic drop, like throw Mike on the ground. Is like, let's try our very best to get our own self in order and stop worrying so much about what all the other stuff is going on, because you really don't have control of that. No way. Yeah. It's going to happen. It's just how do you react to those things?
I like it.
That's what it is.
Happy New Year, sir.
Hey, man. Happy New Year.
Love you, bro. Thank you.
Man.